What just happened is honestly one of the most simple, beautiful, and completely non-controversial things imaginable. And yet, somehow, somewhere, someone is already drafting a headline like it's a national emergency. Meghan posted. That's it. That's the incident. A birthday post. For her son. 7 years. A quiet milestone. And instead of turning it into a spectacle, instead of inviting the world into every detail, she did something almost rebellious in today's attention economy. She kept it intimate. 2 photos, 1 caption, no chaos. And somehow, that alone is enough to send certain corners of the internet into a full investigative spiral. The caption says, 7 years later, happy birthday to our sweet boy. And that's it. No long explanation, no defensive tone, no trying to manage public perception, just love, plain and simple. And if you've been paying attention, this is not random. This is a pattern. Meghan is no longer performing for approval. She's not over-explaining, she's not chasing narratives, she's not trying to correct every headline written about her. She's just living. And that alone seems to confuse people who are used to celebrities turning every personal moment into a press release. Now, the first photo sets the tone immediately. Harry holding Archie as a newborn. Not a polished royal portrait, not a staged moment with perfect lighting and 10 layers of symbolism carefully arranged by palisades. It's soft. It's real. It's intimate in a way that feels almost private, even though it's being shared. Harry is just there, completely present, holding his son like nothing else exists. And that matters, because for years, the narrative around him has been everything except this. Titles, duty, expectations, drama. But this image strips all of that away. No prince, no institution, no performance. Just a father. And honestly, that version of him feels a lot more grounded than the one the system tried to box him into. Then you move to the second photo, and this is where it gets quietly powerful. 2 small figures walking side by side across a wide open landscape, Archie and Lilibet. No close-up, no clear faces, no perfectly framed public reveal moment designed for maximum attention. Just distance, space, movement. And that choice is doing a lot of work because Meghan is not giving the public access, she's giving them a feeling. You can see the bond, the innocence, the simplicity of siblings just existing together, but you don't get to zoom in, you don't get to dissect their expressions, you don't get to turn them into content. And let's be honest, that boundary is very intentional. There's a certain group of people who are still struggling with the idea that they don't have full access to these children. Historically, royal children have been part of the public narrative from day one. Photographed, documented, analyzed, compared, every stage of their lives turned into public material. But Harry and Meghan said no. Not loudly, not dramatically, they just quietly stopped participating in that system. And over time, they built something different. A life where their children exist outside of constant scrutiny. A life where moments like this are shared on their terms, not because they owe anyone anything, but because they choose to. And that shift still makes people uncomfortable because control has changed hands. What makes this post even more interesting is the storytelling. Baby Archie in his father's arms, then Archie years later walking forward with his sister. That's not just 2 random photos. That's a timeline. That's growth. That's a story being told without a single extra word. It's, look how far we've come. It's, this is our life now. And it's done in a way that feels effortless, but it's actually very intentional. Meghan understands narrative, whether people want to admit it or not. She knows exactly what she's showing and what she's holding back. And here's where things get a little awkward for the people who rely on drama to function. There is nothing to attack here. No controversy, no misstep, no obvious angle to twist into outrage. It's just peaceful. And that's a problem if your entire business model depends on chaos. Because what do you even do with a post like this? You can't accuse it of being too revealing, because it isn't. You can't accuse it of being secretive in a dramatic way, because it's emotionally open. So what's left? Overanalyzing, speculating, turning normal details into something deeper than they are. Suddenly, a walking stick becomes a symbol, a distance becomes a statement, and a simple family moment becomes a full-blown narrative. But the bigger picture here is the shift in power. Harry and Meghan are no longer reacting to the noise. They're not chasing headlines, they're not clapping back at every comment, they're not engaging in endless back and forth. They're setting the tone. And the tone right now is calm, controlled, and completely unbothered, which, ironically, is more disruptive than any dramatic response could ever be. Because chaos is easy to respond to. Peace is not. Boundaries are not. Silence is not. And if you look at how people are actually reacting outside of the usual loud voices, a lot of them are seeing this for what it is: a family moment. A mother celebrating her child, a father being present, two siblings growing up together. It's relatable, it's human, it's normal. And maybe that's the most interesting part of all. Because for years, the narrative tried to paint them as something complicated, something dramatic, something divisive. But moments like this strip all of that away, and what you're left with is something incredibly simple: a family. There's also something quietly rebellious about choosing simplicity in a world that thrives on oversharing. Every post online is optimized for engagement, designed to grab attention, to spark conversation, to keep people watching. But this is restrained. This is controlled. This is someone saying, you can see this, but not everything. And that kind of boundary, especially in the public eye, is powerful. Because it reinforces the same message every time. We decide what you see. People underestimate how strategic that is. They think in terms of headlines and quick reactions. But this is long-term. This is consistency. This is building a narrative over time that doesn't rely on controversy to stay relevant. And every post like this adds to that. It creates a space where their family exists outside of constant public consumption, even while being visible. And honestly, the irony of all of this is almost funny. The more peaceful and grounded they appear, the more some outlets scramble to create drama. It's like watching someone try to start an argument with a wall. There's nothing coming back. No reaction, no engagement, no fuel, just silence. And that silence ends up saying more than any statement ever could. At the end of the day, this was just a birthday post. A little boy turned 7. His parents celebrated him. His sister walked beside him. Life moved forward. No hidden agenda, no coded message, no grand performance. And yet, in this environment, even something that simple gets turned into a topic of debate, analysis, and projection, which honestly says more about the environment than it does about the post. Because when something this calm feels disruptive, it means people have gotten used to chaos, and they don't quite know what to do with peace. Happy birthday, Prince Archie of Sussex.